gotta go to the Home Depot next.
Why?
Well, we gotta wrap this up. I got a plumbing problem at my house, and the Home Depot got my part. Just announced.
Are they going to put it in a locker?
Yes, I have to do that.
I did that last year. It was so fun.
What's the process? Am I gonna get confused immediately?
Yeah. Yeah, you sure will. I ordered a lawn umbrella for graduation. You've sat under it.
That's lovely.
Oh, yeah, it came out of a locker. That's pretty cool.
I got to replace my kid's toilet connector. It was leaking. Oh, we had an incident. There was an incident.
Really?
But it's all clean water. It was all the clean water. It wasn't the
incident from a couple weeks ago we even saw? Like you were texting pictures one time. Or you were texting us that you had an overflow. And like it was like mistletoe.
Nope, that was a clog. This is different.
You need to lock in on a couple things going on over there. Okay?
I mean, it's a $5 repair,
Yeah,
but now it's just sitting at the locker at the Home
Ooh.
Depot. It's ready to be picked up. That's what I'm doing after the post show today.
We've been talking about fishing this morning, and it's been like super fun. We planned on just mentioning early once on the show that Colorado's free fishing weekend is this weekend, and then the entire time we're doing the show today, we'd start chatting again just naturally about like fishing stories growing up. And it's, God, I hope, and we, not to get sentimental, because most of them are about lying about fishing. I hope that my kids tell fishing stories sometimes too, you know, like growing up, because we go in Minnesota still, like we're going to the cabin in a little bit.
Yep.
We got latches, what is it? Mounts for the kayaks. That's the thing. Mounts that we drilled into our kayaks last year.
You can't fish on kayaks.
Why are you so weirded out by that?
Because you're floating on the lake and you're casting out. Completely different than being on a boat. You're too close to the fish.
You need to go to Aurora
You're too
Reservoir.
close to the fish. It's an advantage human.
No, our neighbor right now is building his kayak trailer because he kayak fishes all the time.
What
Like,
do you
it's
do when you
very
catch fish in a kayak? Where do you put the fish? At your feet? Just swimming around in the kayak?
You put him back in the water. Catch and release, Fizz. In Colorado, yeah. Unless it's a trout.
I grew up fishing with my dad in Colorado. We would catch trout. Yeah.
Yeah. You're not catching a trout really in Aurora Reservoir.
No, what are you catching in Aurora Reservoir?
The throwback.
E. coli?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know all about that.
God. That was one time in a lake in Minnesota. I'm never telling you my HIPAA stories again.
The best thing you caught with your dad was E. coli in that lake. The biggest thing.
Do you know farmers dump things in there? I am pristine. I was upset.
You will forever have a taint.
True. Okay,
bring it down. Serious.
Back
I was going
to
to get
fishing
serious.
stories.
Yeah,
yes. Okay. So yes, we do fish in a kayak quite a bit. You can fish off anything. If you're fishing off the dock, you can fish off a paddleboard.
Okay.
Yeah. All good things. All good things. But when we grew up, has fishing changed or have we? Because our stories are very similar about like fishing with your dad. And I don't think my kids are going to tell those types of stories.
What are they going to tell?
They're going to be like, oh, yeah, we used to go out and fish once in a while on the kayak. They're not going to tell the stories like how my grandpa taught us to bold-faced lie about where we were fishing. And the little town I'm in, you know, it's 10,000 lakes in Minnesota. Little town I'm in, we would get off of Lake Hattie was when we fished all the time. We would get off and my grandpa would get on the CB because men in town knew if someone was fishing. It was that small. Like they knew if they saw your boat going out.
Yeah, or the truck driving. Yeah,
yes,
you know where Leroy's off to.
Yes, truly. And he would get on the CB after we were done and be like, "Yeah, this is Verge. We're just out to Hattie. Didn't catch nothing. Over." And then the old men would talk smack about how he can't fish. Well, I'm like, Grandpa, we have like 10 walleye. And you know, you never tell anybody. I always tell them it's a bad day fishing because then if it's good, they'll go to your spot.
You got to protect your honey hole.
Yes.
Always protect your honey hole.
Yes.
Just why you got E. coli, you didn't protect your honey hole that day.
Look at Big Mike's face right now.
Oh,
We are
God. That's
teetering.
gold.
We are teetering this week. Is it summertime? I don't know what it is with us. We have given him 7 heart attacks about the things we've almost said.
Some of my favorite memories with my dad were fishing.
Yeah.
He used to love to take us kids fishing. And the man is a saint. Now knowing that I'm a dad and, you know, it's so much work as a dad when you take your kids fishing because it's nonstop, you know, baiting the hook.
Yeah.
Dad, I got one. All right.
Yeah.
Dads can't fish when kids are around.
Right.
They just help you fish. I remember when I was like 3 years old, I was fishing with my dad and I caught something. It's on there. Ooh, I'm reeling it in. 3 years old. I don't know. He's probably helping me too. And the fish gets up to the shore and I can see it. I don't really like fish, so I said this out loud verbally. I wish it was a chicken. And on my birthday cake that year, I had a birthday cake of it was probably a chicken. I don't know.
Oh, that's cute. That's a nice one. I don't know, Big Mike. Yeah.
It's a nice story. Can I tell you? Can I bring
Why
it?
is it
I'm about to bring it down real fast. So
when
no, with my kids.
Oh.
Before my dad passed away, my goal was to get them fishing with Grandpa.
Yeah.
And it never happened.
Really?
No.
Oh,
I was really
that
sad about that.
sucks.
That still kind of haunts me.
Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah, if
Yeah.
it was that big of a thing,
It was for me, and I wanted it. I wanted
yeah.
my dad to experience my kids. Actually, I wanted my kids to experience fishing with Grandpa.
Right.
I can take
That's
them
too
fishing
bad.
anytime,
But
and they'll
you'll
complain
yell.
and just be like,
I
"Oh,
wouldn't-
Dad,
I
this
wouldn't
sucks."
take you fishing. You're too loud.
But with Grandpa,
you'll scare the fish.
I know. I wanted them to
Yeah.
fish with Grandpa.
Some of the cutest pictures I have are of that, and when we go back to Minnesota, the boys will fish with Grandpa and on his boat, and they drive the boat and all of that really fun thing, you know. But there is something funny that has happened in the last couple of years where my brother and I are only 4 years apart in age, but he has littles. Like kindergarten, preschool.
Mm-hmm.
And I had my kids, like my son who works here was my age when I had him, you know. I had my kids so young that they're now older. My dad will still like want to take the grandkids fishing. And my 19-year-old who loves to fish, who he you know, fishes for trout, he fly fishing. We got him lessons last year. All that is like, I do not want to go fishing with a 4-year-old, you know? So it's very
Yeah.
different on like he now
Right.
has 2 sets of grandkids. Like the older boys go early in the
Yeah.
morning and there's no kids on the boat. And then the little kids go tangle the lines
Right.
later.
Tangle the
Yeah, and go, you know, one of those.
It's so much work.
It is a lot. Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, oh, have fun with that.
Right.
Yep.
And if we weren't catching like trout, we were catching dumb sunfish, you know,
They're
that would like
fun.
cut your hand. You had
Yes,
to wear like
yes,
gloves. That's why.
yes.
Yeah.
They're scary as a kid,
Yeah.
but they're so tiny. The thing about sunfish that I love so much is how much they fight. You would
Yes.
think you had
Yep.
a 7-ounce shark on
Yep.
the end of that line
Yeah.
because those little buggers
Yeah.
fight.
Oh God, they will get you. Yep.
You gotta call
They're fun to
up-
catch though because they fight so hard.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
they
you're
are
reeling
fun.
them in for a while.
You gotta call it. We should do this on the show, actually. Call up and we'll get the fishing report.
Oh.
When I first started in radio, it was a little AM radio station. And we would do a fishing report, which I'm sure was lies because no one wants to give up where this. Come on, there's no way. They were sending you to the crab lakes because whoever's giving the fishing report is
Is
protecting
lying.
the honey. So you could call up right now a bait shop, and I know exactly where it is on Main Street in Starbucks, Minnesota. You could call up the bait shop, and all you could say is "What's biting?" And the guy on the phone,
What's biting?
Hey, so what's biting? There's no hello. There's no hi. This is so and so. None of that. You can say what's biting, and he'll say crappies, sunnies, and you can say what are they hitting, and he'll tell you like, oh, mostly mousies. And he'll tell you like what the bait is. It's all just not. It's non-scientific.
No. Hey, Big Mike, isn't there a bar here in the Tech Center called the Bait Shop? Something Bait Shop. Okay, let's call up JD's Bait Shop and be like, what's biting? The bartender.
I don't
Be
know
like,
this bar. Yeah. So what are you hitting? Oh, mousies? They hitting mousies? I got some mousies here from yesterday. Night crawlers?
Oh, he'd think we were just so charming.
Oh God, we should do that for Fananigans.
I know. That'd be hilarious.
God,
JD's bait shop.
Slimers?
Isn't this a bait shop?
Yeah.
Hopefully nobody's watching from JD's because we're calling you for Fananigans.
I love it. So that's pretty cool. So if you are a fisherman or not and want to try it, this is the weekend to do it in Colorado.
Yeah, it's free all the lakes, right? Or state lakes. No private lake. I think it's wherever there's public lakes. Like
Yeah. Like if you own a lake, like we can go to Luke Bryan's and be like, hey, yeah, stay off of private property.
Can we fish on Sloan's Lake?
I don't know.
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's like the stuff that's free.
Yeah.
If it's a public
If
lake.
it's a public lake, it's free. Yeah. Well,
What's
the lake
biting
isn't free if you have to pay to get in, like the admission. You don't have to have a license this weekend, a fishing license.
What's biting at Sloan's Lake?
What's biting? E. coli. Apologies
Probably.
to Sloan's Lake this morning. What else? I'm sorry. Now we got into fishing. What was the other? Oh, the smell
Dog
of
smells.
Denver. We were going to get
The smell
into
of Denver.
today.
It's rancid
Yes.
and vomity.
2 people are suing like a class action lawsuit in federal court
The neighbors of the Purina plant.
because it smells. Did you not smell it when you looked at the house?
Yeah, the real estate agent really should have explained this to you. Like maybe you toured on a day where the wind was going
Right.
the different way. You're like, oh, this is a lovely neighborhood.
The real estate agent's like, okay, I know it's got a bit of a rancid vomit smell, but we could probably talk them down on price a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, you're getting a discount.
Oh, yeah. What would Denver be, though, without that? Like, it's,
know.
First of all, it is indescribable. If you
Denver's
don't
a
live in
lot of
Denver and are
smells.
tuning in, like the Purina dog plant is
It's
something.
right there off of I-70. You can't miss
You
it.
can't miss it. You try and you can't. The best for me is that always signifies like stock show. Stock show is so fun. So I get excited. Like January stock show, it's like the dead month. So it's really fun
Way
in
to
Denver. We have
front-load
stock
it,
show.
Trace, way to front load
Because,
it.
right, because what happens is once you get to the dog plant, it's like the first time the smells fight. The only time.
Yeah.
The rest of the time now it's just gross and it's whatever. The smells fight in January, and it's a strangely comforting smell.
Oh yeah, it feels like a big warm hug. Yeah. Stock shows in town. There's Purina. Don't forget Wonder Bread over there on I-25.
Wonder Bread's just trying to like do God's work.
Right.
You know, just like,
Trying to bring a little class to the situation.
So funny. Oh my God, it's so funny. So I was just Denver. It didn't smell like a dispensary. It smelled more like how would you even describe it? It's so stupid.
Like if your dog ate a big bowl of like
Of wheat, and then a cow came over.
yeah.
You should go. It's fun. It's fun. Bring the kids. Bring the kids. All right, you guys. That'll be a fun one to watch.
Yeah.
And I kind of hope, if they're fans of the show, I'm sorry. It sucks that you have a smelly house. I kind of hope they don't win.
Oh yeah. I'll be super disappointed if we don't smell Purina every time you're over by I-70.
You know what it was when you moved in.
Yes.
Don't take that away.
Yes. It's our culture.
All right, you guys.
Be protected at all costs.
Have a good one.
Bye.